Hey guys, welcome back. We have a couple of issues going on with this bike. We have some electrical issues with the turn signals. We have an oil leak that we need to figure out. We're going to be changing the coolant, the oil, and also replacing the spark plugs. Possibly seeing if we can replace the front fender. Also, last thing guys, we are going to be replacing the brake reservoir. So, before we carry on guys, please, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Let's go ahead and dive into this and see what we're going to get into guys. Drain the coolant and the oil. What we will be doing next is removing the tank to get into those spark plugs and go ahead and change those out. Alright guys, so we got the tank off already, as you can see. What we got to do next pretty much is take off this air box, and underneath the air box we should be able to see the spark plugs. Therefore we can get that out of the way, and while we're in there we're going to go ahead and check the air filter to see if it's dirty or anything, or if it needs to be replaced. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into the turn signal issue. As you can see, there's a couple of weird things going on here. Wires everywhere on this side and on the other side. This here. So it's pretty obvious why these aren't working. One, they're not connected, and two, they're rigged pretty weird. So the other thing is we were able to get our head beam working. Turns out that it was just a blown fuse. Small issue there. We already replaced the fuse. We're gonna go ahead and keep going and see how this goes. Alright guys, so we already got the wiring out of the way for the turn signals. You can't really see very well back there, but I've already shrink wrapped it and connected the wires properly again. Did the same for the other side as well. Again, you can't really see it, but it's all nice and tight now, and both turn signals work now. As you can see here, there's the right and there's the left there. So the other thing is, remember on the way down there we noticed that the air filter was pretty dirty, so I went ahead and cleaned that out for him as well. As you can see now, it's all nice and purple again, so it's nice and clean, ready to go back. What we're gonna do next is put it back together, put the tank back on, because we still have to get the coolant, the old coolant back out. There's still some coolant in the engine, and what we're gonna do is use distilled water to prevent any corrosion in the coolant system. We'll be doing about 2 fan cycles just to make sure all that old coolant's out of there. And again, we're gonna put the new oil, and we already have the clutch cable on order, so we should be getting that soon to replace that one as well. I follow the cable, and I noticed there's some kinks there, causing the cable to be harder to use while you're switching gears. So we're gonna get that replaced as well, guys. Alright guys, as you can see, we got clear water finally coming out. So pretty much we got all the coolant, old coolant out of the system now. So what we're gonna do now is basically fill it up with extra coolant, and should take care of the whole coolant process. So moving on to raising up the bike back to stock height, and also taking care of the brake issue in the front. We have to loosen up the bolts to the triple tree, the handlebars, and also the let me see if I can get in there. Also the lowering triple tree bolts as well. So it's a total of 8 bolts on this bike. That's what we're gonna do now, is just basically unloosen all these bolts and then raise this back up to where this basically meets the top of the fork. That the owner did tell me about. The FI light code was on this bike, basically the check engine light, and I've done this before on a different bike, on a Gsxr 750, but on the 1000 the wire is different that we got to cut. It looks like it's the same color, but it's on the opposite side of the harness, and I'll show you that in a bit. But basically the code's pulling up is C46, which basically is the X up valve code. As you pull the throttle, the computer actually communicates with the valve to let it know how much to open or close while you're riding. I'll show you here what I have to do to clear this code. So on this one here, guys, remember on the 06, 07, 750, 600s, we had to cut a certain wire on this side. On the Gsxr 1000, it's on the other side, and as you can see, I've already cut it. It's the same color. It actually has black with a brown stripe and a couple of green spots. And basically just cut that wire, guys, and just after you cut it, just be sure to cover it up. You don't want to create any shorts or anything like that. I'll turn the bike on here to show you. And the code was on before, and now it's gone. For any of y'all who are having issues like that and decide to put on exhaust on a 2005 Gsxr 1000, it's a simple fix. You don't have to remove the X-up valve, you can leave it there, it stays open. Just a little tip there, guys, if y'all decide to do the same. So, alright, so we finally got the new clutch cable in, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and replace that. The one that was already on it was extremely stiff. I can't show you right now, but it's already disconnected from the bottom end there. But we're gonna go ahead and we took the tank off again to get this clutch cable out. We're gonna have to get it out from there, from here, and reroute it onto the handle again. But other than that, that should take care of the clutch issue, and I'll show you once it's all done as well. Alright guys, so check this out. We already got the clutch cable on, but turns out as the bike was sitting for a while, after running it for the coolant to cycle through the engine, it turns out that it still has an oil leak. I didn't put it on camera. I went on and fixed the issue anyway. I'll show you here what I did. In the beginning, it was actually just leaking from here, but after, like I said, cycling the engine a couple times, the leak was actually coming from the bottom there. But as you can see now, it's all sealed around. You can look at the outer casing, it's actually already sealed all the way around, just to be on the safe side. What I'm gonna do is obviously let it run for a bit. I'm gonna let it dry overnight, and then in the morning I'll run it for a little bit. If there's any after that, then I'll just dive into it again and figure out what else I can do. Also, the front fender already came in, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Basically after that, guys, all I gotta do is put it back together to make sure that everything's solid, and this bike should be good to go. So it's now the next day, and had the engine running for a good 30 minutes, and so far no leaks. We're pretty good. No leaks at all. So at this point, guys, like I said before, we're just gonna put this thing back together, test ride it around the block, and we'll go from there. guys, so there you have it. We have another amazing video of another bike getting done. We were able to take care of all the main issues, starting off with the electrical, the oil leak, and all the small little stuff that this bike came in for. Everything went smooth, like always. Already test drove it. Everything went well. So overall, this bike is done, guys. So again, thank you for watching the videos. Continue watching, guys, and we'll see you next time to see what else is coming in.